Already underway, millions of tons of wheat and barley that in normal times made this country the world's biggest grain exporter. They can still grow the grain in vast quantities, but since the war have struggled to export any of it. Millions of acres of some of the most productive land on earth. But farmers can't sell, can't afford the diesel to run their machinery, may not have the money to sow next year's crop. But even if this war were to end tomorrow, if the export routes were to reopen immediately, the disruption to Ukrainian agriculture is going to take years to sort out, and with it, the disruption to world food supplies. And of course, this war isn't going to end tomorrow. The farmers who can store their own harvest should be cleaning their barns ready for the new crop. But Volodymyr Vabanets still has 50 tons of last year's wheat and sunflower seeds. The only buyers offer just half what he got last year, but he'll have to get rid of this at any price. Are you going to be able to sell it? The only way is if they open the port of Odessa, he said. Then we'll be able to sell it. I don't think my business will go bankrupt. I have some savings and can sit this out for a year or two. But many other farmers are already bankrupt. The cranes and derricks of Ukraine's biggest port, Odessa, stand silent still, ominously silent, if you're one of the 400 million people once fed from the wheat fields of Ukraine. The UN's World Food Programme is working to export what it can.
The only solution is a safe and secure opening of the Black Sea ports so that this grain can get out to where it's needed.
This quantity of grain you can only shift in ships, basically.
You can shift it by rail, by road, but it will take an incredible amount of time. If you think that they have around 20 million tons, if you think a truck is around 20 tons, you're talking about 1 million trucks.
And even if these grain elevators could be restarted, Ukrainian rail tracks are a different gauge to those across the border. And the governor of the embattled port city of Mykolaiv recognizes truck drivers don't want to come.
It is very dangerous and nobody wants to go to our region by trucks, so there is a big problem for drivers, for cars, because it is too dangerous and nobody wants to go to Mykolaiv.
Closer to the southern front in this war, even harvesting crops frequently set ablaze by Russian shelling can be terrifying. Farmer Volodymyr Onyshkuk will hope to harvest this barley in about 10 days. Is it going to be safe to put a combine harvester through this field? Firstly, there's the air threat, he said. No one is safe. We're still being shelled occasionally. Plus, there's the issue of unexploded munitions in these fields. We've already found plenty of those. Grain is wasting while the threat of famine stalks parts of Africa and beyond. And for years to come, even if this war ends soon, the granary of the world may not be able to plant, grow, harvest or export